Last week, we brought you the most overrated resorts at Disney World. This week, we're going to tell you what we think is the best bang for your buck, and we're going to rate the most underrated resorts at Disney World.
That's right. Let's get right to it. Number 5 is Pop Century.
Yeah, so Pop Century is one of our family's favorite resorts to go when we need to save money. If we're looking to get in a trip where we want it to be as inexpensive as possible, but we don't want to fight all the teams and school groups that tend to stay at All Stars, we always choose Pop Century. We love the theming there. We're big history geeks. We like nostalgia. That place has amazing theming for nostalgia, if you like that. It has a good food court. It's on the Skyliner, which I love. It's my favorite transportation at Disney. There's so much to love about Pop Century, and it was where we stayed when we got engaged too. So it does have like a special place in my heart for that reason.
Yeah, and I love Hourglass Lake. I love walking around there, even walking the whole thing. You mentioned all the nostalgia, the history, reading all the signs as you walk around. They have them at Art of Animation too, with the history of movies and animation history. It's a good place to jog if you're into that. But without doubt, the price point that you get at Pop Century, a lot of times I think without a discount, it can vary a lot depending on season, day of the week, but it's usually, anywhere from $200 to $300. Without a discount. Mm-hmm. But you can find it at times under $200, especially with the discount.
Yeah.
And for premium transportation that you get with the Skyliner, that is easily the cheapest price point at Disney World, where you can stay at a resort and get some kind of special transportation.
Right.
And then the last thing that I'll say really quickly about Pop Century that a lot of people might not think about is you do only have the one quick service food option at the resort, but since you're on the Skyliner, mm-hmm. if you're there for a while, you're getting a little tired of everything Pop, you could easily hop on the Skyliner, go over to Caribbean Beach, maybe go up to Riviera, mm-hmm. and eat at their quick service if you wanted something a little different and a little change of pace.
Yeah, that's right. All right, number 4.
Number 4 is Fort Wilderness.
Yes, and not to be confused with Wilderness Lodge. Fort Wilderness is where they have the campground. You can take an RV or a camper. You can camp in a tent. They also have the cabins that they just replaced about a year and a half ago, and those are very nice. But my favorite thing about the resort is how much there is to do there. And people will tell animal lovers, stay at Animal Kingdom Lodge, get a Savannah View room. But I'm an animal lover and I love horses. And Fort Wilderness is the place to be if you are a horse lover. You can horseback ride there, which I have done with my youngest son, and we both loved it and can't wait to do it again. They have pony rides for the little ones. They have the stables where we love to go and visit the horses that appear in the parades and that pull the carriages at the carriage rides. They have the Clydesdales and then the other breed that looks similar to a Clydesdale that I can't remember the name of. But they're magnificent looking animals. They have the dinner show, Hoop-de-Doo Review, which is like a cult classic dinner show at Disney. There's so much to do at that resort that you could spend an entire vacation there and forget the parks exist. It's so big.
Yeah, that's true. That's a good point. And hey, if you or someone you know is planning a Disney trip, share this video with them. It might help them pick their resort, and it might help them get the most for their money.
Yeah.
But a couple of more things that I want to mention about Fort Wilderness mm-hmm. is the price point you're getting if you stay at one of the cabins is one of the lower price points at Disney World, where you can get that one bedroom space.
Yeah, sleep 6 people.
Right. And we've seen it even, I know, on a discount from like the mid 300s.
Yeah, so you can get it under $400. and it sleeps up to 6. So that's a pretty good deal.
Yeah, and get that 1-bedroom space. The other thing that I want to mention real quick is you talked about all of the activity that there is to do at Fort Wilderness, and there is a lot to do there.
Yeah.
But with that activity comes large space. Comes a large space. I mean, that resort is very big, but a lot of people rent golf carts.
Yeah.
And they travel around the resort from the meadow where the primary pool is to the settlement back to where their cabin is or their campsite. They travel around on a golf cart. So the size really isn't an issue to them. And it looks like a lot of fun. We haven't actually stayed there and rented a golf cart yet.
No.
But we've been to the resort several times, and it looks like a lot of fun. The last thing I'll mention is I think that fun is fun for all ages too. Yeah. There's a lot of activities there that apply to little ones and tweens and teens. And I happened to actually just be there for a couple of hours at Fort Wilderness a few days ago. And I was standing there talking to an older couple that was standing there by themselves, and they were telling me that they were staying there and how much fun they were having. So it really does. I think it's a resort that there's a ton to do, and it applies to all ages, I think.
Yeah, I would agree with that. That is why it's number 4 on our list. What is number 3?
Number 3 is the French Quarter.
Yeah, that's right. Port Orleans French Quarter. And I will say that I know a lot of people who love that resort. So it's not a secret that it's a great place to stay if people are aware of it. What I really love about it is probably the best themed moderate resort. It really does feel like you are on Bourbon Street in New Orleans, but it smells better and it's more child friendly. We love the food there. There's beignets. They have gluten-free beignets, which I'm a fan of. We like the food court. They have a nice pool. That slide is great, especially for little kids. They have the boat to Disney Springs. It's just a really nice atmosphere. It's quaint. It's small. The buses there, I've never had to stand on one because the resort is so small. So I really just love everything about the French Quarter.
Yeah, I think that's the big strength with French Quarter is that I agree. Like, I like everything about it. I do feel like that a lot of people that know about the French Quarter that have stayed there before, they do love it, but it is still, I think, also largely unknown.
I think because a lot of people assume that Port Orleans is one resort, and they think of it as Riverside, and they don't realize there's 2 resorts.
Right. But for me, yeah, definitely beignet all day. Love that about it. Love that the walkability, like you mentioned. Also, it's one of the most shaded resorts as well, which I like, especially in the summertime. I love the jambalaya there. But I will say you can get your regular food there as well. But the other food they have is, leans toward that Cajun Creole thing. So if you don't like that, then the food might not be your favorite.
Yeah.
But I love it. Really have a good time every time that we stay there. And again, you're in the moderate price range. So a lot of times you're in the low 200s at French Quarter to low 300s, depending on season or.
Yeah, I'd say usually around 250 to 350 is the average that you're looking at to stay there, which is not bad, especially when you compare it to the other moderate resorts. It's right along the same lines as most of those.
But you're getting great theming, good food, boat transportation to Disney Springs. The new rooms that were renovated not too long ago are also very nice. And you're getting the beignets. So there's a lot to like.
Enough said with that, right?
There's a lot to like at a price point that is beneath the deluxe tier.
Now that we've covered that fan favorite, our next 2 picks are going to be more controversial, but we feel they're the biggest wins for your budget. If you want more planning secrets like these, hit that subscribe button. And now let's talk about a resort that is often overlooked.
Yes, this resort is often overlooked. Number 2 is Saratoga Springs.
Yeah, so Saratoga Springs is a DVC only resort. So you're going to have your villas. You've got your studios, your 1 bedrooms, 2 bedrooms, 3 bedrooms, and then they also have the treehouse villas there, which are really cool. Look into those sometime if you haven't seen them. But what I love about this resort is that it's so close to Disney Springs. And I did think that I was going to be underwhelmed by the theming because it is horse racing, and we live right in the middle of horse racing country. I was somewhat, the theming leaves a little to be desired, but the rooms are beautiful. And it's understated theming, but beautiful rooms. The property is beautiful. The pools, they've got 2 pools that you really could consider as primary pools. Very nice, quiet pools as well. They have a good food court with some renowned pizza and a really good prime rib at the Turf Club restaurant. So I have really enjoyed our stays there. I didn't think I would. And being that close to Disney Springs, we usually request the Congress Park area, which is preferred, and it's the closest to Disney Springs. Being there, we've really enjoyed that. The proximity to that, being able to see it. It's a beautiful view, especially at night. So we've loved Saratoga.
Yeah, from my personal experience, it actually might be the most underrated on the list because I never really wanted to stay there until we finally did. And then it didn't take long that I was thinking, wow, I really like this resort, and want to stay there again. And we have. So definitely from personal experience, it was very underrated. And then again, the price point, you're getting Deluxe resort, so you get those extra hours at the park at a price point that's barely above the moderate levels a lot of times. We recently booked a room there that was a 1 bedroom preferred for around $450 a night on an annual pass holder rate, and we're getting that nice 1 bedroom space with the full kitchen.
Sleeps up to 5, and that was a holiday week.
Right.
Holiday 4th of July, not Christmas. You won't get it that cheap at Christmas time, but still.
What we feel is a very good value for the space that you're getting. Not a lot of food options at the resort itself, especially for the deluxe tier, but you're right next to Disney Springs. So that goes a long way to making up for that.
Yeah, I would agree. All right, let's get to our number 1, what we feel is the most underrated resort at Disney.
Yep, the number 1 most underrated resort at Disney is Coronado Springs Resort.
Yeah, so some of you who watched our most overrated list might have a problem with this being on the list because we did rank Gran Destino Tower, which is at Coronado Springs, as being one of the most overrated. And that's because the tower itself can sometimes have higher deluxe level pricing or close to it, especially close to Animal Kingdom Lodge, which is on the lower deluxe pricing, and it's right around the corner from Coronado Springs. So that's where that we kind of decided on putting that on that list. But if you're looking at the village rooms, the price point you get with those is usually the lowest of all the moderates, and you still get the amazing amenities at that resort, and that is the best thing about that resort. There are so many restaurants, so many nice spaces, especially for adults, like the Three Bridges Bar and Grill, the Toledo restaurant, which is like one of the signature restaurants on property. The theming is really nice. The pool is great there. It has a really cool slide. And then the biggest hot tub on property. So we have stayed there so many times and we keep going back. We love that resort and everything you get there.
Yeah, the same story that I shared about myself with Saratoga Springs kind of applies to you with Coronado Springs. Our first Disney trip that we ever took together, we stayed at Coronado Springs, and going into it, you had never stayed there. I had several times, and you weren't all that excited about the resort, and I kept telling you, I think you'll really like it.
I mean, I had heard after planning travel for years, people would say
it's a convention.
It's a convention resort,
Yeah.
and
Yeah, but I kept telling you, I think you'll really like it. Just give it a try. And you did, and then you did really like it. And we've stayed there many times since. But yeah, you mentioned the highlights already. In terms of the restaurants and bars, that they have there, it blows every other moderate resort away.
Yes.
So it really does have that deluxe feel to it with what you're getting.
The amenities are deluxe level.
At the moderate price. Mm-hmm. And the last thing that I will say is, yes, we did say that the tower was on the most overrated list. And what we specifically mean by that is when you look at the prices of the rooms at Coronado, if the tower it can be sometimes $75, $100 more a night than the village rooms. When it's that much more, we would stay in the village. That's what we mean by the tower being overrated. If it's close to the same, then we would probably pick the tower.
Yeah.
So it depends on the price difference there. But the village rooms, and a lot of times the preferred, but the village rooms are always a great value.
Yeah,
at Coronado Springs.
All right, that wraps up our list of most underrated resorts at Disney. Tell us in the comments, do you agree with our list? We love to hear your thoughts, agree or disagree.
Yep, and with that, we will see you next time.
See you next time.